And there's something about that. Oh, speaking of. Hey guys, how's it going on this here? Well, for you it's Tuesday. For me it is not quite Tuesday, but I won't be revealing my secrets about when I record these bad boys. So, I realized that I did not do a Valentine's Day episode, so there will be some Valentines incorporated in this episode. But I feel the need to warn you that this kind of, it's just discombobulated. Like, I don't really have anything specific to talk about. Well, that's not true. I have specific things to talk about, but they don't, like, all go together. Like, there's not a theme. Like, Valentine's Day is not the theme. And then my topics revolve around that. Valentine's Day is a topic, and then my theme is chaos. So, that's kind of the boat that I'm in at the moment. Is that I have a bunch of things to talk about, and none of them really go together. So, there's that. The first thing I want to bring up is that, I know that a lot of social media things, social media platforms not require, but they put out like a paywall, right? And you get extra stuff behind that paywall. Twitter, for example, you can pay for your blue check mark. YouTube Plus, you can pay to like turn your phone off and let the video keep playing and like whatever. The one I don't understand, and I get ads for it constantly, is Snapchat Plus. Who is paying for Snapchat Plus? Also, what do you get? Like, what is the benefit of using Snapchat Plus versus just the normal Snapchat? I don't quite understand it. And also, maybe it's because my concept of Snapchat is like, if you're using Snapchat, you're either like a teenager, like a young adult, or you're cheating on your partner. That's how I view Snapchat. So I just don't have a very good view of Snapchat, I guess. But I do use it. I use it to talk to two people. I use it to talk to one of my girlfriends, and then I use it to talk to Waffles. And that's literally the only people that I talk to on Snapchat. Like, I don't talk to anybody else. But without fail, Snapchat, once or twice a week will send me get Snapchat Plus, get Snapchat Plus. And I'm like, why? What is the point of getting Snapchat Plus? Also, I think my microphone's kind of fallen down a little bit, which is embarrassing because I just told Van that it was fine and he could leave because it's not falling. So that's embarrassing. Anyway, so if you have Snapchat Plus, let me know what that's like. What are you getting and why are you paying for it and how much is it also? Because if you're paying $2 for Snapchat Plus, I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. If you're paying $15 a month for Snapchat Plus, I gotta do some research. How much is Snapchat Plus? Oh, okay, it's only $4 a month. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better about it. Because that's it's honestly not that much. But what do you get? What do you get with it? Exclusive features, including longer story expiration, custom notification sounds, and camera color borders. No sponsored snaps and no story or lens ads. That's it? You're paying for them to remove ads and also to set your own sound for when you get a notification? That's not worth $4, I fear. I fear that is not worth $4. Unless you use Snapchat, I do know that there are people who use Snapchat like it's their main social media source. And I don't get that. They watch stories from random people and stuff. I do not understand that. And people make money posting stories on Snapchat, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know who is using Snapchat to that degree, because it's not me. Anyway, I just had to put that out there. I was curious if anyone else knows what I'm talking about. And also, do you pay the $4? US money, obviously. Do you pay the $4 to have Snapchat Plus? Okay, I'm going to move on. This is an unofficial book of the month moment because technically this is not the book of the month. we don't do book of the month for like 2-ish more weeks, I think. But I do want to give a shout out because a very good friend of mine gifted me a book by one of my all-time favorite authors. So if you know anything about me, you know that my 2 favorite books of all time are Pride and Prejudice and The Great Gatsby. But my favorite authors are not F. Scott Fitzgerald or Jane Austen. It is, in fact, Grady Hendrix. And Grady Hendrix is not only my favorite author, but just as far as horror author goes, he's the one I recommend the most. Like, he is the one that if you're like, oh, I want to read a horror novel, and I'm like, Grady Hendrix. My favorite Grady Hendrix book is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And it is so good. It is so well written. It, like, blows my mind. I finished that book in, like, a day and a half. That's how good it was. And yeah, I have, like, been chasing that high ever since because I just think the way Grady Hendrix writes is so incredible. And then he also wrote, I think he's most well known for the book, I'm going to get this wrong because I think I always say it wrong, but okay. Hold on. Okay, the book is My Best Friend's Exorcism. And I always say, I don't know why I do this, because I'm not unfamiliar with this book. I always say My Best Friend's Exorcist, and I don't know why I get the 2 words confused. But the book is My Best Friend's Exorcism, and so I think he's best known for that book. But he's written a bunch of other books. How to Sell a Haunted House, The Final Girl Support Group. Like, he's written a lot of books. And they're all good. They're deliciously descriptive. And I feel like the issue with a descriptive book is that sometimes they get really boring. And sometimes you get kind of overwhelmed by the descriptions and there's not enough going on and it's just description and it's really hard to follow. I do not feel that way about Grady Hendrix. I feel like the way he writes descriptions is so well done and it's so unique and it's so... I could go on and on. The point is that my very good friend, her and I celebrated Valentine's this past, Valentine's Day. My microphone just keeps falling down. That's so embarrassing. Okay, anyway. So we celebrated Valentine's. I went and helped her with a little tea party thing her mom was hosting. And she gifted me Grady Hendrix's new book, which looks like this. And it's called Oh, that is so unprofessional for my phone to be going off. Man, it's like I've never done this before. It's my sister's. Anyway. So it's called Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. And already, I think the title's great. But if you read the synopsis, essentially, and I'm not very far into it. I think I'm like, let's find out, 30 pages. But he has this whole opening 3 or 4 pages where he talks about the inspiration for this book. And basically he talks about how in America he gave a time frame, but it ended in the 70s. Basically, there were these houses that popped up all over America where you could send your teenage girls who were unmarried and pregnant. And they could go and give birth in secret and no one would have to know and you wouldn't have to live with the shame essentially of your unwed daughter giving birth. And so he explores that here with a teenager who's gotten pregnant out of wedlock in the 70s and is sent to one of these homes. And he basically talks about a lot about this idea that even though it takes 2 to tango and it takes 2 to make a baby most of the time, we demonize our girls for getting pregnant, and we still demonize our girls for getting pregnant. And he threw a lot of quotes in here. The most recent being from 2005. I wonder if I can find it. You know what? Let's just open the book up, because I would love to just show you what I'm talking about. He throws a lot of quotes in here, starting in I think the 1920s, and then the last quote being 1927. And then the last quote being in 2005. And Yeah, so basically just chronicling how this is still an issue, that we still demonize girls for getting pregnant, even though it takes two to tango. And so I just think that's it is a fascinating thing. And he even addresses this like, hey, I'm a middle-aged man. Like, what do I know about being a teenage girl who's pregnant? And he talks about how he had family members who were near and dear to him, very close to him, who in their youth got pregnant and were sent to these houses, and just the shame and the guilt and everything that came with that. And so he did a lot of research. It's very obvious he did a lot of research for this book. And it's just so good. And I'm only 30 pages in, again. But I know this is going to be a Grady Hendrix book that I recommend to people, because I love it, and I love the concept. So yeah, that was a lot of blabbering. Move my microphone again. That was a lot of blabbering. So I apologize. For that. But I just think if you need a book recommendation and you like horror, you like vampires or monsters or ghouls or whatever, Grady Hendrix is your person for that. I mean, give him a try, because he really is very skilled at what he does. So yeah, I have read a number of his books. I haven't read all of them. I think of the ones of his I haven't read, I have not read How to Sell a Haunted House. And I have not read, I think I started How to Sell a Haunted House. I don't think I finished that one. Something about that one didn't catch my attention as much, but maybe I should revisit it. And then I have not tried, what is that book? I can't recall. There's another one of his that I just haven't attempted. He has a nonfiction one, I think, that is all about the history of horror and horror novels and horror stories. That one I have not attempted, though I imagine it's pretty good. Anyway, go look him up, Grady Hendrix. Go read his stuff. He's really good. Okay, now to move on to the Valentine's Day topic. This is after Valentine's Day when this episode is going to be released. So I feel a little bit bad. I just was kind of unprepared the week before to do a Valentine's Day thing. I just had a lot going on, and so a lot on my mind, and I just couldn't do it. But let's talk about Valentine's Day. A couple of things. I received a very, very beautiful bouquet of flowers from Van. They are red roses, but they've been painted black, like on the tips of the petals, and very goth, very aesthetic. They are quite beautiful. I don't know if you can quite see them in this camera shot, but they are stunning. I also mentioned a while ago that I was really sad about not getting the, what is it called? The Build-A-Bear Mothman plush. And so Van bought me a Mothman plush, and I thought that was very cute. I was going to call him Bob, but I think I'm going to call him Lightbulb because he's a Mothman, and I think that's funnier. Also, a woman I talk to at the gym a lot, she's this older woman, and she's really, really nice. She's a sweetheart, but she came up to me the other day and was like, I just turned 50, and my way of celebrating is I'm handing out gifts to people. And she handed me this dragon that looks like one of those sugar cookies that you can buy from like Walmart or whatever that have the frosting on them. And they're so cute. Like, look how cute. Anyway, so yeah, this is my little, he's like, I don't know if you can hear that ASMR, but it's like a little fidget toy. And it looks like a cookie. Anyway, that was really cute. And I was like, I don't know how you know this, but I love freaks. I collect little freaks. So that's like perfect that you're handing me a little freak right now. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. Yes, and then I received, obviously, the novel by Grady Hendrix from my one sweet friend. And then I also, to give a shout out to Waffles gave me a Pride and Prejudice themed sweatshirt, which I should have worn because it is so cute. But yeah, I wore that to my little Valentine's Day event, and I loved that. So yeah, that was super cute. As far as Valentine's Day goes, I had a good Valentine's. Van brought home dinner, and then we watched Squid Games, and then yeah, we just kind of hung out. I think I read a book at one point. It was nice. It was really nice. We just kind of chilled. And then, yeah. I mean, what do I have to say about Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day used to be, like, one of my least favorite holidays. Like, it was just such an inconsequential holiday to me. I just didn't... I mean, growing up, I felt like I really enjoyed Valentine's Day. Like, I really thought it was fun. I thought it was cute and whimsical, and so I, like, enjoyed that. When I was really young, my parents would give us Valentines. And so, like, that was fun. Like, I had a pretty positive association with it. And then as I got older, it kind of became apparent that I just ended up putting more effort into those kinds of things than the people around me. And so that's probably when it started to diminish, was when I was in high school. And then when I was fresh out of high school, this is a story. Buckle up. So when I was fresh out of high school, I started dating this guy. And we had only been dating for a few months. And Valentine's Day came around. And I think I bought him something, and I also made him something, if I recall correctly. I was like 18. And we meet up on Valentine's Day or whatever, and I was like, hey, like, I got these things for you. Like, I was really excited. This was my first, like, real boyfriend. I was really excited to celebrate Valentine's Day. And he was like, oh, wow, yeah, I didn't have the money to get you anything. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, whatever. Like, the day's not really about that. Like, it's totally fine. Let's go do something. And what we ended up doing was meeting up with his best friend, who was a girl he'd known for a couple years before him and I met. And when we get there, she's like, oh, thank you so much, so-and-so, like, for the Valentine's Day gift or whatever. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, well, yeah, she's not in a relationship, so I got her something so she wouldn't feel left out. And I was like, okay, interesting. Well, I'm in this relationship and I feel left out, so, like, what's up with that? And so, like, I think that was the start of my, like, okay, so I put effort in and other people don't respond to that effort. Like, other people don't give the same energy and effort back. And so I just kind of stopped. And then in all of my, like, relationships after that, that was like a running theme. Like, that I would like, try to put effort in, and it wasn't reciprocated. So eventually I just didn't do it anymore, and I just, like, I don't know, like, it just wasn't worth it. And so, like, Valentine's Day and, like, holidays like that where you're supposed to celebrate other people just kind of were like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't have a positive association with them anymore. And obviously that's changed because I met Van. And Van was the first person who I felt like really knew me better than I knew myself. And he's never gotten me anything that I felt like wasn't thoughtful and wasn't, like, something that I would have bought myself or something that I wanted. And so, yeah, so, like, I think that association has grown. And obviously I'm surrounded by people now who are really good gift givers and really know me. And there's something about that. Oh, speaking of Van getting me things that I enjoy and I love a little freak, and this is my little Mothman. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. And like I said, I was going to call him Bob, but I think I'm going to call him Lightbulb instead because it makes more sense. So yeah, he's just my little freak. In fact, I think he'll just sit right here. Oh, he's so ominous because he kind of blends into the blanket. You just see his beady eyes. Bright red bulbs of eyeballs. Wow, I love that. That's so beautiful. Okay. Anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, I'm surrounded by people now who are not only really good gift givers, but know me as a person, right? Like, they take my wants and my likes and my aesthetic into account when they gift things to me. For example, this friend of mine who knows Grady Hendrix is one of my favorite authors and gifted me this book that just came out, by the way, like, not even a month ago, I don't think. And yeah, she knew that I would enjoy this gift. Waffles, who knows that I love Pride and Prejudice, and gifted me that sweatshirt. Like, and so it's really an eye-opening thing, I think. People say a lot that phrase, like, to be loved is to be known. And I don't think you realize how much you're missing until you have that. Like, you don't realize how much it impacts you not to be known by the people around you until people know you, right? Like, that is such a fascinating thing to go from, like, oh, all the people that claim to love me couldn't tell you one thing that I enjoy or one thing that I like. And all of a sudden, like, Van knows me like the back of his hand. Like, Van knows, he knows my aesthetic. He knows things I like. Like, he listens to me when I talk. Like, that is such a wildly different experience. And it is true. To be loved is to be known. Like, platonically, romantically, it doesn't matter. It really is, like, I think that says a lot about your relationships. How well they take the things that you like and enjoy into consideration. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. I think I've been thinking about Valentine's Day, and I never really celebrated Valentine's Day to its fullest until I met Van. Like, that is just the truth. And now I have friends that I celebrate Valentine's Day with platonically, right? And it is just, I do feel like I have people to celebrate now, and I have people who love and care about me, and I love and care about them. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I think I was just going. I was just talking. So anyway, so long story short, too long, didn't listen. TLDL. Yeah, Valentine's Day was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Let's do it again next year, you know? Yeah, I think that's kind of all I'm going to talk about. But I am going to round back to what kind of started this episode, which was, if you pay for Snapchat Plus, I need to know why and what for. Because there's no way it's worth $4. Just a thought. Just a thought. So anyway, go out and tell the people you love that you love them, or whatever. Or whatever, guys. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Anyway, bye now. Bye-bye now.